first we debate and I was say yeah share my baby so there ko ye ndra teams Champions League teams no boy no nyasam kito kopie gan oni ma mo bo 0-0 so na Dynamo Kiev tena fie e ma Pafos ko share no 1-0 e ma o de say nyama papa still and matches ni bi wo ye bi rerem na afi ya share no ye Champions League qualification rounds no afi na start and the Conference League in Europa ni nyina almost on so anti one abebo mo homodin no na ma ba bebo the league format no said this is the second edition of the new format UEFA for the aba and the year born the first time I boy no Paris Saint-Germain and etumi then ebo bia okokoje since Chelsea returning oba bebo bia nya asem keto akra honom hye so se man you more sa format we bi nti yebehwe se next year ometumi abade a nti na ekọ 3 years no nya asem keto akra na neyi omani abre omo pe players ahodo aba be team ni mu kan kira Benjamin Sesko eneyi wase waka yes to Man United yiberum na fe ahwe se now na Man United enye omo striker no den na to say what becomes of say she any Branty aye friend aye Holland then omo midfield no so no den na be koso is it that Sesko be omo last signing ana Garnacho ene Jadon Sancho so no omo future na etsen ho me no ka say de na the three wise men baako atumi movie ko Barcelona dada tiaka Garnacho so no de o se hodo no o twen Chelsea de tibia no on o te so ni team bia ni nkomo no Chelsea ano eden o 20 e be hwe Chelsea na o twen no ho be ni sika na o je no on de bema no on betu asaska no de tene se Man United so nya magen se nei o mo be include no e na boboko e fe no Dortmund so ase o mo be fa betwe o mo player no e de na for the third time na Dortmund e ko de an is scanner na Chelsea person o de man kra de ne o be sa chemu mienu kra na o mama no half ama waba be join ho and ye bisa is it the right decision and Jadon Sancho take here say ne when your opportunity playing for Chelsea a team you know almost develop and only almost develop your boma akanyama den ekoyi no and they wasako back starting from the zero anya sam keto akra nti ono so ni situation e be say na e ko ne de den de eba honum transfers awodo no nyina de ekoso Pau Kubasi akwa na pra honum o se basa sign defender na say on be maintain Aradio ne Christiansen na ye be hwemre ne nkrabia na be de be kire enra na e wo se ye ka GFA president time limiter ene almost on the 15th and I just almost congress ene the ababetu just say on be hwe no ma change status na nanu ya no on be sesam se na be ya wotumi akọ tetem ye be di san komo no at the latter part of the show honum we be do the man better education and ye koso ye ria na aba na aba be hwe transfer news no na afi ye discuss ya no so kakra na de ho no etimi ede aka money man mo akwa ba
yeah list of me so
bibia e kama de
bibia e kama
yeah ye hwe man better education no yeah very important
yes yeah hwe man better education there will be any say betting platform abetwa bet abefa skawo I mo be you with omo aka bonus any options be omo ma MYBET.AFRICA and me too for say www.MYBET.AFRICA now so be join ebusuano okwa omo platform na for you the top right corner be hu icon be a circle ni green umia so or options so betimi register now be login but unya register ya me register ne so na afidi join with 3 simple steps now so be come MYBET ebusuano. The first thing your phone number ubo phone number ni shemwa. The next one your username betimi your nickname edin bia pese we use so na afidi wabo password if you are no me register be send you verification code now they are verify account kai UEFA qualifications here koso yi unso betimi ewe ma fiscal me no ntina my bet for the bet builder ba nti ene we bet builder unya one game unya 10 different options I betimi select a free nti say ukọ for a particular game betimi akọ team need to win team no goals ahi on beshe bookings ahi bebem corners ahi bebem either half any bibia or how betimi afa say na be ma bet no enye team selections bebree bebe ketu ebi na osika no munso ayedu with aka bonus omode mine of 1500%. Nti ene se obi bebi etwa bet a metu fu se MYBET.AFRICA ne twa bet se na bet no di a asem bia entimi emba ho.
Right, nti MYBET hon komo na eguso aye ne wudi no bo mo dia na etwa wo bet e wo MYBET is answer ho na wudi a wo betua di ono ma send no text message say wa feska nti mo dia se wo be call wo portal no so na wakọ yi usika na bibia so netumi ade akoyi MYBET wo office wo Ghana ha ya nti eba ne se wudi sika kese bi na se eye yi a yini ba bia ye bekọ akọ ji usika de ama nkrofo ne de na online so mo bo ushima eno ano no yes mo me nhwe eye transfers no mo nhwe transfers no na yindi kom there's a Liverpool outgoings no na me no ka say Darwin Nunes eko ana have Elliot and they ultimately say RB Leipzig say o hwe Chukwuemeka ma say na Brandt no person ko Dortmund ni ade anti say o mo akọ have Elliot bibia kire say kwan bia so no o mo be fa Brandt ye friend have Simons no atumi ade atumi aba ti mumie ndi sam komo no.
Okay, yen starting free Darwin Nunes na o hwe ne story with Lada na aba more of say it depends on player and so obe so be movie because Lad no more so betimi add another striker to their team. Mitrovic age any side especially injuries FIFA Club World Cup point me ambo one game on because of injuries ne nyama ntene no more that key striker betimi abem with height any bibia na no na coach Inzaghi share ne conversation akoswa player na pene so nya team no obebo ohwe salary ne nyama omode ma na anweden nti ene Liverpool for na ejinom so say conversation omne Lad say ne betimi akwa kusu sika sen no betimi age because initially Liverpool edit to Darwin Nunes to say nkomo per 70 million to 80 million on the player at least come spending on so moving from Benfica to Liverpool no nkomo betimi anya bi but as of now fear two clubs in an agiatum 53 million euros plus add-ons into add-ons no betimi akọ up to 65 ene Liverpool for at least o menya scan omunya editor Darwin Nunes krana o metimi nya up to getting to in the range of 60 o betimi the area other transfers. I think a good move Emma Darwin Nunes coming to Liverpool no wentimi reaches our potential na no bi ahwe no so betimi the free Benfica na ba no ba ene so timi call Lada with the Saudi league less pressure and more time o betimi abo yenim say eba the national team or a player be likely say every tournament be a number friend ntino enye bibia be affecting especially going to the national team ni nyama ene Harvey Elliott Liverpool for also share a lot of outgoings because quite bia so no Liverpool shares at least before the start of the season or the end of the transfer window no only 2 or 3 players ba become set up no intene say Harvey Elliott etimi ewemu or RB Leipzig and they will be having a lot of space betimi players abem na RB Leipzig Harvey Elliott transfer no because omo hwe so betimi eja Javi Simons kwan and then so omo Javi Simons kwan that number 10 that number 8 role omo hwe so bi betimi abo no Harvey Elliott a chance say wabo to the highest level.
Me before I do hwe Darwin Nunes what really went wrong for him Liverpool because he was bought with a huge figure and he was basically the striker Liverpool for fans say on brand number replace Bobby Firmino. What really went wrong? I want to
share Liverpool set up no any the way or game style of play it na time at Liverpool to Darwin Nunes name 1 year because o share Bobby Firmino and Liverpool the Darwin Nunes ba be replace na the way I know about the ball Liverpool mo type of play no independent on striker ni bebre into share strikers or my that is within that period we are friends saying Origi any Bobby Firmino they weren't more of goal scorers no more the any say omuye link up plays making sure say the likes of Mohamed Salah Luis Diaz any Sadio Mane mo be enjoy the game or more o share Darwin Nunes strength and the strength are more of making runs and finding spaces into any so share Liverpool game now omu possess ball anymore omu more of a counter attack team I be say ball no one half man with just 1 or 2 passes on the ball long ball they share striker no and no account be na etimi ama Darwin Nunes etimi induce potential at Liverpool ehun or Benfica. The second thing no as a player needs to play a factor because there were games on a lot of game times a lot of chances Darwin Nunes Liverpool fan be because games o feel ball with the Darwin Nunes a share no be say no ball out finish so ball we there nation be anything na no mum no ahye intina inconsistency ade ba kwa na play a big factor e won ni Liverpool career no be na say o move to Ireland say na me kind the Saudi league pressure ni o ni enim say Ireland so but a similar style to Liverpool but mo they depend more on counter attacks inti ene ebe play to the style enye mo so be movie alcohol na performance na timi akosho aba be top notch a bibia betimi akoyi aman so on the side na I think Liverpool playing style na mboa no and secondly him as a player no so ono nso ntimi amboa no ho anu nti na ene Liverpool he so betimi agya ne kwan no mo de striker foforo aba abehim nti yenhwe we Manchester City say na ka January Manchester City koto player bia na e friend of Victor Ruiz omo de buy in the center back role say ombramba mbeboom na bibia ntimi nkoyi Pep Guardiola no hwe quick fix especially time na injury satiti esim e woni team mu e wo back line ho any also your friend is saying Rodri position ti hwe that transfer window players at Man City di omo buy bebre kwa omo kofa we friend is saying Nicolas Gonzalez and Nico Gonzalez e buy so no nso mbebobi embeboa se ni ombetimi occupy that Rodri role no obetimi abo na Victor Ruiz oba Manchester City so hwe appearance saying your boy in the Premier League wentimi a lot of games in the Premier League ohwe the minute of boy endu even 200 say me can 200 meaning say me can in aboma endu 2 full games e wo Liverpool e wo Manchester City ene omeja no kwan say Uncle Loan e wo Girona ye nenim say Man City ni Girona e wo that relationship so more player be na bia Girona ye nim say e ho na Savinho e free buy so there is a good relationship between them and they on person odini Cologne e wo Spain non ye ne ho embo ne ho modern say na bia in the seasons to come so mu hia another center back to replace the likes of Ruben Dias ma obetimi abemu ababebo I think a good player when at times ball no a player bia or good on the ball na Pep Guardiola height and so on the side na Pep Guardiola has so obeba abebo but oba team no wintimi enya that good starter no here ohwa that transfer window 2 defenders no motor or no any cushion of enya a lot of game times ene Victor Ruiz wintimi enya a lot of game times omode ni Cologne inti ye hwe in the Spanish La Liga performance sen obetimi adane di wo senia bia ombetimi ekipi no ana bia ombetimi eja ne kwan kra amanetimi akọ Chelsea player Magui ene we wie ne medicals wetimi assign on loan to Sunderland na ye be wia ne contract ni mu kakra senia Chelsea fan bia beti ase adenti ya Chelsea fo eja ne kwan amanako na ohye ne transfers ne kakra na a loan with no obligation to buy intene your Sunderland with loan with no obligation to buy adenti ya Chelsea for no obligation to buy or no option to buy ne say omo ogidi o player no say with time no obe develop it to the extent obetimi ababak so ntimi nya enough playing time o Chelsea team no mumpa ombetimi ayeden eja ne kwan amometimi agisco mutimi nya etimi turn free Barcelona ho o Chelsea ko fan just 5 million from Barcelona intene so timi ko Sunderland na performance ne good o timi she 10-15 goals and even 9-10 wa na ni Sunderland person motona Chelsea can make up to 30 million to 40 million from him good profit so Sunderland and farm and at least performance ni good he can move to even a new club and so no Chelsea can also make a good money from him now the contract into details then ni Sunderland ebetua the full salary intene Sunderland into even a penny Emma Chelsea on the loan or mobile player friend Magui Sunderland cover the full salary na contract in Chelsea so they are shame say Omama Sunderland number of minutes as a player and ball you say mostly players Cologne na ya clubs near so timi bought 10 games into anunti no coaches ni bi wo ha omotwen aka 10 minutes no the player number then cover say we about this particular of games and a better example by time Barcelona they Griezmann Emma Atletico Madrid loan na do baby na so ultimate boss some particular games intina Simeone mbone kra intina senior obligation to buy so ultimate 2 scan so better no metimi to player na at a cheaper level intini Chelsea they shame number of minutes as a player ne ball e was Sunderland intini say one starting po na coach ni din bem na wentimi enya accurate minutes per game as a Sunderland betua transfer fee and a loan fee be ma Chelsea intini the likelihood to obetimi starter was Sunderland very high depending on the contract at Chelsea new mako na share a player like Maguire from Chelsea on a good time the Conference League move. The performance, there was a game or share a hat-trick in the first half. There were one game so team share 1 or 2 goals in the FIFA within the Conference League no. Na Olidi goal king with 5 to 6 goals. Injury Betty see my win to me and born. So a quality player. I think Sunderland in a player with a new crop of players, some try some more assemble with Adingramo and also with Granit Xhaka. He would be a good addition to their team. And the contract is to favor no. Say Sunderland they on more playing time. No, so it's me exhibiting a talent in the Premier League. Yeah, share Chelsea Indra Estavio William Indra mutimi announce no. Yenim say obi o follow Chelsea social media handles ye pano. There was a video being posted about Chelsea coming omoko into the field akwaku training and João Pedro and na camera ne dane so but na uhwe ne chi a Estavio William enam ne chi na video ne ba abontin in 5 minutes na Chelsea admin ne delete video no because Estavio William na ne image kakra wo ma na omo hwe so mbema excitement ne gusu awo hwa akopem so mbema the full announcement ama bibia etimi akoyi nti ndura omo announce no na hwe a young player coming into this Chelsea setup record okuta in the Brazilian league and now performance with award or G any bibia hwe the potential la he's there kopem say bibi entimi nsi ni kwan no he can become one of the most exciting players on betimi aba Chelsea na ene ne Chade at Chelsea for her, so betting integrating a year into the team. Na bibi etimi akoye. One, oyobia the English ni nye papa sa. It is also an interview or yeah in drana. Na English ni emu nye sa. But I think Omar Madrid said they wouldn't put a lot of pressure on him. They would try and integrate him into the team and they pressure him bedane so but he could be able to get into this setup and becomes a key player na Chelsea. Na se Chelsea I this inclusion and per se Chelsea team no se see as of now players or more. Any going into the season, additions being who here says on the count. It is a virus bait me them. Chelsea full setup now to so and patch be in Kese Mami. Full setup now to so. If you goalkeeping department one Sanchez, any Jorgensen, and Solani, and 3 goalkeepers are available. You say every team going into the season, team behind here at least 3 goalkeepers in their setup. You share the right back positioner, Rhys James, Gusto, any champion. That is another 3 setup almost bet me occupy the right back position in Champions League games, in the Premier League games, and also in some games. We share the centre back roles now. Levi Kwo, Fafana, Badler Share, Chaloba, Tosin, and Asilmino. Into any umbenya 6 players to cover that centre back role. I think during the transfer windows, no say a good offer by Asilmino bet me and I think 5 will be okay to cover those roles, especially say injury crisis. You would have 4 coming in and forth. Oshe the left back, which has been a big problem for Chelsea to get a player to help Marco Cucurella, and they had to ababe rim. On the left side, only at least 2 players are on injury side. No, these are 2 quality players. You know, Cucurella and the injury records are very good and on time co-injury, same as Hatua and also Beboa. In Finfin, that is where Chelsea's strength is. Enzo Fernandez, Santos, Caicedo, Lavia, and Insugu. And I think they would only need 2 players to start in every game. So having 5, especially with the injuries of Lavia and Adebakwa, if you evolve into at least 2 per row, and Adebakwa bomb. You ensure the left side, that is the left wing position. Hona Gittins, Ebim, and Tarek George, and all his obetimiako. And also in Kunku, Chelsea has obetimiako. On that side, the 2 players that is in Kunku. Any Tarek George meaning Chelsea needs to add 1 player in the left wing position. And that is a Alejandro Garnacho conversation. And Garnacho, and you say maybe or Dan or Bompire say Chelsea beat me out. There is conversation going on behind closed doors. The possibility say by the end of the transfer window, about Chelsea player are very key because when him said that particular role, there are 2 players going off. That's the 2 players. Chelsea would by force have to include a player. Send your bet me aboa. Gettins that particular role. You hear the 10 rule, maybe a Kopama one. As a noun, a Kopama pen. That also gives that idea, and they say likely say Javi Simons will be added to the setup because he will be a bit Ababe Boa Kopama on that role. And on the right side, no Neto and also Estavio William. Say me bo ni din so I announcement. And they on 2 players is quality, a young player and also an experienced player, a balanced squad. And up front, João Pedro, Liam Delap, and Nicolas Jackson. These are also 3 players. Chelsea can surely keep them. A name about Bekase, Nicolas Jackson, and there's a Chelsea who plays on bit me at on the derby. But the offer be around 80 to 100 million. Chelsea be penis or beko. Into the door is always open for Nicolas Jackson. But then they say offer be below 80. Chelsea be imagine so make keep young players because they know the quality and the potential equita Nicolas Jackson, and they are looking at getting into the season. I think Enzo Maresca it's me balancing the squad ni. So the Javi Simons and the Alejandro Garnacho can't team with one. They are contenders for the Premier League. They are contenders for any European trophy because of form of the free FIFA Club World Cup neighbor, because of quality of squad. Any players no adaptation or meeting me during this period. No, I think going into next season, Enzo Maresca can't make any excuse of they are not ready to win the Premier League because club not share in the seasons however said they are now okay to be able to play any competition and also perform so well. Yenra Man United kaka any Newcastle sem list to wonder can say Man United kwan be as on Sesco ebe sign Man United, and by the close of ene Sesco ye benya we say obetimi sign Man United in draw. There was an agreement between both clubs, no any player no omo offers omo present here e was kasem any contract on sem how long the contract would go. The player was okay with both clubs, but ene Wamo Biatia says Man United and all leading towards into Newcastle for we are ye papa. Now the Bema transfer we are and ye Newcastle for main offer in pack no eba as at 90 million a ho and another. Into name Man United and so pack ni na ABC 85. Now Sesco any Man United I agree. I dear all expecting is a Man United and RB Leipzig and Kaskasem. No muntimi we ne on signing Man United, but ene RB Leipzig Becca Man United say they need to match that Newcastle offer. No, it's just 5 million between both clubs. Into no more share say Man United bet me offer, and I think say with the green light from the player,
I think say same 85 for because Newcastle then was 75.
No, Newcastle then 80 plus 10. No, plus 10
was 80 plus 5
plus 10
plus 10.
What
was
I
it
saw,
10?
yeah,
And Man
10
United
million
is
euros.
75 plus 10.
Yeah.
Into just 5 million. Into Adeba RB Leipzig be put pressure on Man United. They say you need to match the offer because a player not pay so bad there. We need to match the offer on RB Leipzig side. You know, they were looking at say club a player and a person corner. Only problem. Ultimately, club near agree on personal terms. They are okay with it. But Sesiano Newcastle Amoma who said they can get 90 million in full package for the player. Into Man United will surely match that offer because Man United send them a in draw and they said they were looking at Sesco giving them the green light. Send your baby in draw they bid in the chair say now no they are okay with the player and they can now go in for player friend Sesco and also they have that conversation with RB Leipzig. Man United fans be brave any ninja transfer with I didn't do a ninja transfer in draw. You could see on social media say a lot of people were bringing that thing say Sika Man United they cover Hoyland. Any the information be is similar to Sesco die. Hoyland the to say 70 we Atlanta can so per 90. And a Man United team is negotiating 75 plus 10 million add-ons. And no multimillion player. And Sesco something similar. 75 plus 10. Or now so you lefty.
Improving.
Yes, intino Man United fans be that feeling say and your Hoyland we ni be a mistake ni be a near ye. Osha Sesco last season answer no movie to Man United 13 goals no share Hoyland there no 9 goals but Sesco potentials compared to Hoyland I think Sesco with him kakra but it will all depend on system Man United be build now going forward then him say any omenya 2 number 10 eba ne assist any goals they can help Sesco compared to Hoyland time and no more Anthony mo Rashford mo any Garnacho a lot of them were not stable in the setup. I think Sesco moving to Man United a big bargain for Man United. Though say a young player with 10 years, 15 years ahead of him, and then if I'm far, meaning said they've spent getting to 200 million on strikers, still they've not been able to get that ideal man on pay. And then Man United at that time they went in for Harry Kane. I think say things would have been better as of now. But they were looking at age factor and they play a big factor. I think Sesco would be a Man United player. See, I can't be any ho. He will be a Man United player. Na BBA Timiako. You almost said their first game against Arsenal ebetimi aye na with Sesco ne Arsenal and Sesco and Man United ne Arsenal on the first day say obi abekaya it gives that same feeling of Chelsea Man United some time ago Romelu Lukaku Alvaro Morata ye ne nim say na Arsenal ni je Sesco ho Arteta ka say nko nya Sesco on the setup no more but na Arsenal so share a quick fix into no the call for Victor Gyökeres. Man United were also interested in Victor Gyökeres and then they went to me and bought Makofa Sesco. Something similar AC between Chelsea and Man United. Chelsea no pay with Lukaku and they do baby there so far Morata and Man United and so far Romelu Lukaku Bibiako. So we are looking at the first game of the season. These two players beat me and starting for both clubs. I bet share Nyama send beat me a call. See a Newcastle wants them Semoba. So man may see out on Sesco. Strikers Ben Bium and a Newcastle says you meet me a call because Newcastle team no omu here 2 strikers at least before the start of the season they need to buy at least 2 strikers in team a virus beat me there to so near here say strikers are available and Newcastle beat me for because say omu here strikers they are meaning say they need to go for proven strikers in the Premier League. So to me call for proving ones in the Premier League because they omu to me nyama try makwa bia especially going into a Champions League season. Now these are 4 strikers a day apopia and Newcastle beat me for at least a mutu. Na baako that is Calvin Lewin or a free agent.
Oh, okay.
Into a nay, so bet me any of the 3 are bet me the Calvin Lewin about account. But ade baako or Calvin Lewin when they say Newcastle na ade baako ma Carl Wilson was based on injuries. Na Calvin Lewin is about injuries ade baako e di ni yan ye pan into share players e wa ha appearances on the kuta the list appearance that is 19 or starting mu 7 in the Premier League. O share the rest at least the ball list cry Nicholas Jackson that is 28 and start otimi share at least 2 goals in that early stage e wo ho Chelsea. Na ye share goal side in we Wisa ade back all 19 goals ahead of all of them. Ono na one key signing na Newcastle person omo add to Isaac or Sesco and now who go Ekitike going into the season. Until we goals Isaac and now Wisa ahead of all of them. Eba assister that is where Watkins and so ebim. Na short per 90 minutes a hot Wisa edikan ewo mu nyamu. Na eba no man of the matches award omu ne winia. Ehona ena Watkins ewo 3. Nicholas Jackson second with 2. Ena eba expected goals for the season Ushe Nicholas Jackson expected goals. No expected goals of 13. Otimi share 10. Ushe Wisa no expected goals of 20. Eno Otimi share that is 19. Now Ushe we friends and Watkins none expected goals was around 13 and now 19. Eno Otimi share 16. Into Ushe with expected goals any available strikers are ama for Liverpool. Senior mechanic Calvin Lewin that is Dominic Calvin-Lewin surely obetimi joining Newcastle so I agree so be joining your man. The remaining 3 I think said the player they will try to go in for strongly Johan Wisa. Into Ushe this side
and I'm also requested to leave.
Yes. Ushe this side the possibility say Newcastle can now go in for Dominic Calvin-Lewin and also Wisa Adebakwa very high to happen. Ushe on the other side Nicholas Jackson Chelsea would take at least 80 to 100 million. And I don't think that Newcastle would like to pay that huge amount for a player they haven't seen tell obetimi do the potentials ni here na so ntimi do. Are you
but Nicholas Jackson?
Yes.
If that is anything to go by, why would they send 90 million to Sesco or no more Premier League, you know? On your proving. Somebody or no number about Chelsea.
Yeah.
I share double figures. Are you proving in the Premier League? As also was ceiling. Or room to improve.
Yeah. But Omo say the value for Nicholas Jackson need do 80 no.
How? Omo value on Sesco how were they able to value them?
Omo value Sesco ni say Omo share Sesco. O share sometimes as a club to player. Omo share nyama bebre one. Ne academy records. And ne potentials especially coming from the academy. So Obershare Nicholas Jackson e do baby coming into Chelsea in his first season. Never the positioning any problem because he didn't go to the academy side of football.
Oh, I'm not sure said that's a factor.
That is academy, a factor.
Academy we are talking about what he has done in the league and what he's capable of doing with as he gains experience.
Yes.
So if Ode Sesco, somebody who has done it in 2 top level league, though or both from January, and at that time, if you check the numbers and the stats, he was one of the best players in that period in the La Liga. Waba Chelsea, right? Ababe previous double figures in 2 seasons in the Premier League. Why a confidence, sir? A player from Salzburg, lower way, they are now even playing underground to get into the Champions League. Waba RB Leipzig, he was not even the first choice. Openda, any person now were ahead of him. He was not even the main man. You were able, who you bold, so because of so 22 years, and you believe say high ceiling.
High ceiling, yeah.
What the 90 million now? Nicolas Jackson now, or no 2 legs. A bomber Chelsea, top level, the pressure, a war playing for top club.
Yeah.
We win a trophy. Another point, we win 2 trophies.
Okay.
I won a demo or no day, but no say, and only the Omono Ebehuni says, because of academy.
Academy play a factor.
How?
Secondly,
you are the first person now.
I didn't make us say, Ushe player development. Play a big factor in player. Send you beat me akunim. Yenim say Erling Haaland time was starting a career. Na potential ni wo you could see say truly academy level even to the extent Obenya Dortmund boy. You could see say a lot of clubs were chasing him. Nicolas Jackson. At the Inter Newcastle would opt out of Nicolas Jackson. Nyama bibiri. At the Inter make us only 1. She play on a record, especially when it comes to expected goals, any number of goals or share. It plays a big factor. And they say Newcastle are going for a number 9. They need someone who can replicate something similar to Isak. Wissa
goes
Wissa one player they were looking at he coming in to be able to help Sesco bar. And then they say call for Wissa, it will cost them 60 million. Or call for Nicolas Jackson, it will cost 80 to 100 million. Or call for Calvin Lewin, it will come at free. Or call for that is a player friend or Watkins, it will come at between 50 to 60 million. In any business wise, they wouldn't opt for Nicolas Jackson. A player of Bebemu, now with him about the expected goals, a problem. The attitude on the pitch, a problem. The adaptation, a problem. Intino and they so more option to pick a striker. Now Nicolas Jackson
adaptation means adaptation to the league.
Adaptation to the team.
Let's now making a point.
Adaptation to the team. Because they need someone who would replicate Isak. And I didn't think that Chelsea call for João Pedro. I didn't think that Chelsea call for Liam Delap. Because Nicolas Jackson, they see say ne in-game seriousness a problem. Because they went into a game with Newcastle against Newcastle team here about Nicolas Jackson. This was a play of course a Chelsea game.
But say
they went into a game against Flamingo.
Meba. Per way out there ban or flat way out there ban.
Yeah.
What the Abba said this players Omoshe. It means that they've analyzed everything.
Yes.
And almost 4 players. Abba say ebi ombe hwe no mai den omafa mu.
Yes.
What you say? Claire say o hwe Wissa ne Brentford like you so many ways. Now between Oli Watkins 29 years and omode 60 to 70 million ebe kwa no. And Nicolas Jackson say we dey 60 to 80 ebe kwa with the age. Any Oli we Calvin Lewin. Yeah. Everton, our experience, and also was 29 years or so.
Calvin Lewin, 26.
Calvin Lewin, when you papa. Oh, just our players we are, right? We are looking at why na Newcastle be dem be wa ko fanaba. They know say in game why be say. Why be say na academy mu why be say. And an academy mu say ni say. Yet omo de ni nyina dey up to echi no ma shortlist no e kire say omo mo ni nyina all of them qualified to be a young striker. So e dey ben na be ma omo aka so omo Nicolas Jackson instead of the 3 others and I say almost pay be Oli Watkins Emunyewe sa in game sa we I'm sure say they've gone beyond that. If there's a no motion card they will not even shortlist him at all.
Yes, and until I may explain is with this shortlist no shortlist but breaking them down into the possibilities of players I'm betting me assigning no and I'm going into details. So share the shortlist at the least they will try to go for is Nicholas Jackson. At the Inter make us and it's a Calvin Lewin Beba free. They don't need to spend money on him. Where Wisa would cost them 50 to 60. Where friend is a player friend Oli Watkins would cost them something in that range. In TNA, the only expensive player waha based on the club's value Nicholas Jackson 80 to 100 million. And they maybe sir Senka Nicholas Jackson ebo Man United and obo Liverpool and obo Arsenal. Now these numbers and these figures are why would Chelsea spend 80 to 100 to buy Nicholas Jackson as of now? No. They are valuing him based on Hugo Ekitike transfer to Liverpool. And Obia would send you bit me a value in the player. But Senkame, if I'm a sporting director at Newcastle, potentials age-wise, a favor Nicholas Jackson. But in the long term, Obetimia Babe one of the quality centre backs, quality strikers Albania. But you will need someone to come in and help him. And they so call for Nicholas Jackson, meaning they can't try Wisa. And so call for Calvin Lewin, which is also an injury-prone player. In the end, call for players
like remember how?
Say call for Nicholas Jackson, maybe Chelsea will be valuing him at let's say 90 million.
Say the same amount na normal they cover Sesko still normal pay because they know say we be
Isaac Beko.
Yes. And they need to they need two strikers
as of now.
So obviously the Mumbe here
another striker.
We say they likely so number 5 and no almost bet 20 to 25.
Omoko with 30 and a Brentford already 60 of also valuing around the way and Brent will move into Man United.
Okay.
So that would be a big figure for them, especially some person who 2 key transfers and meaning said they are going to spend up to getting to 150-160 million on 2 strikers.
Okay.
And they want to get in strikers who would hit the ground running. Into the market said these are their short list, but social short list and the potentials of players these are players that they can go in for. I think Watkins, any way Wisa may be an ideal, but age factor so they would like him to try other players. But as of now, the strikers market in Ukraine, you wouldn't get a young quality player as of now, because most of the players need a movie called these various clubs in Newcastle and in watching. But these 4 players now, at least 2 of them will join Newcastle maybe by the end of the transfer window.
Okay.
Yeah, listo. My main chat here for before I'm about my stories and I think some percent started from the money master. And person me for we ma ona wash what we kind headline no. No 2 pictures down. This is
from a virus no
David. I mean a picture. This is David.
Screenshot here.
The page. Okay. The transfer sheet or the Athletic.
Okay.
And since I knew report it said if Newcastle say out on Nicholas Jackson, Benjamin Sesko, the only available option they are looking for. That is the first thing Nicholas Jackson. It was part of Miniama report here.
So
Athletic transfer deal sheet.
David Austin and even himself Fabricio were so emphatic.
Yes.
If you look at all the players
are
so emphatic about Nicholas Jackson leaving the club. And it's as a result of the striking the striker merry-go-round
yes.
At the end of the day, says we system anymore. Kawelu no omono okobo Champions League and yet they are not the type of players
so Jackson okobo Champions League.
Champions League how?
The
player has played for Chelsea. Yes. Now, Kavilu will bet me want to Nicholas Jackson. How are you doing this comparison?
When did Kavilu play competitive game? He has been out the whole season.
Based on the injury record.
Injury
and player say be am sorry na me bu mi name o.
Debio.
Bibinesi.
Meba. Nyamotre.
Meba.
Me kase. Se who team. Kamilu nie. Nicolas Jackson here. Ope strike obe lead you. Okobo Champions League. Obe fighting for top 4.
Yes.
So 2 players one abefa.
Depending on the injury maker for Calvin Lewin.
What injury? There be depending on the. Me say 2 strikers we obefa one. Me ba 2 strikers obefa one. Okay, fine.
Me bisa question.
And we are one sam.
Nicolas Jackson bought Arsenal and obo Liverpool and obo any other Premier League club. Yeah, tia Chelsea fans. Obe penise Chelsea in fact 100 million in koto Nicolas Jackson.
It depends.
It depends on them.
If the coach believes he's a player here now. That time now.
This is a player.
Meba. Chelsea team now won. Opposite is someone more Chelsea no more Jimmy Ana. They bought Nicolas Jackson
for 30 million.
They bought him
based on them potential.
They bought
based
him
on the last 9 games of
Villarreal. Called transfer
based on the season.
Called transfer market. Never the value.
Last 9 games isn't on the season at Villarreal. He or free loan or from Mirandes. He was performing at the second tier. Listen, he was performing and no because no more lose to Jared Meno. This is a player of La Liga. He scored 9 goals in a space of 3 months.
Villarreal confirmed free Mirandes because at that time no more strike a player
and he can't buy any player.
Who has a performance of Mirandes? How many goals on Mirandes now?
Debut. Debut. And then Yokeres, yeah.
How many goals?
How many games, no boy?
About 26 games or starting 19 or just 3 goals.
Kawilu said 3 goals.
When you have 20
yes.
games in the
and that's all no lady only better than ebo.
In fact, time it's not about time.
A free Everton.
Is it not?
And will be better. Said they had a coach.
Sondag's free Everton. A year Coleman at 2 games. And Sana David Moyes.
I know this is Sunday.
He played 26 games.
About 26 games. No,
he played 26 games. In fact, the games now about 26.
How many minutes? Boy.
What minute are you talking about? Or starting 19? What are you talking about?
Check the statistics. Game.
He played 26 games. Started 19.
Yes.
Minutes per game was 63. What's your 3 goals? I will say what can say.
And then what the team say open striker I say Kawilu.
Me business would you spend 100
million? Now the transfer market you know. Say who kasa. Will you spend
now who does some now can.
Obi IB Leipzig. Question meba the current meba the current transfer no. The current transfer no. Right and ama ebimu ayen den atumi afọ mu hu adi ama ebimu so ye den the air sign strikers are omutu abode Liam Delap because of if for because of some more championship and omo de sa figure na ye den e de share relegation class this is a 60 million pound striker wo hwe na market ye ekoya say obi to me last ebia 10 matches when ya almost starting no season starting in Openda was the top striker for RB Leipzig so player no and yes because of say ni age nti and ni ceiling nti ya the 90 million dey akọ and obi a ono no Villarreal no within a space of 3 months no or 9 goals at that time. He was one of the best attackers even in Europe so space you know La Liga who Bundesliga you are behind Openda right nipa na if you are but Chelsea and omo dey ultimate Newcastle the expectation of Chelsea in Newcastle you pay it is never the same say Newcastle ebo na say Nicolas Jackson bo omo share sa double figures no dey man no finish in the top 4 say na Chelsea finish in the top 4 Newcastle the American hallelujah. Okay. Champions League, they are not going there to compete and to win it. They are just going there and try and make sure say if you get Nicolas Jackson or no what Chelsea, the expectation is say and your top 4 the expectation is say was challenging for titles. Okay. And in that period he helped Chelsea to qualify for a year Champions League. He helped Chelsea to win a year or share in the final.
Okay.
What Chelsea, I'm a Chelsea a club World Cup every. This guy is coming with star CV, no. What say? Because of an academy, you know. Say obedient 80 the attorney so obefa Calvin Louis. I know a whole season or English or English boy. What call all the academy or bought team like Everton. Or bought team like Everton. Or no, that's 3 goals. No, so be final about Newcastle. So no more call lead you among Franco Champions League. Disrespect Ben. No.
Potential.
Potential Ben. This is a guy 28, 29 years. What money boy he is done.
None of the strikers Chelsea are talking about and are producing effective numbers than him in the last 2 seasons. I want the Premier League.
Debate with
it's not about debate. You see.
These players are Omaba Chelsea. They are playing different clubs. Me ubetina me kai me be kan João Pedro so obetu Nicolas Jackson and they utina error be she say enya no kwe na Chelsea cotton on ball left wing.
Wait to audience.
And one semini.
Obviously, if you look at the transfer gurus mean na obvious he is a player Newcastle for the call out.
There is no problem with that.
Listen, with this issue, I think that I spoke to Rahman Osman. He's a Ghanaian journalist or based in London. Trema, The Sun, and other tabloids, and he's very close to Kamara, who is one of the representatives for Nicolas Jackson. If Okohe Osman, ne ex-player, people are saying say we're just carefree. Nicolas Jackson agent one then, and currently CCA who's why post be and no issue now. Can I ask them that? Are Chelsea going to force Jackson to move out? Or say the only players Chelsea are forcing them to move are the players who are not training with the first team. And when he can say with Maresca, on the company, he doesn't even in support say Umberton Jackson, but a deal. And right now, there are 2 strikers that Chelsea believe say if you get a right amount, say team double Jackson Sikano. Now say next season him say a may game about Chelsea next season. And they are crammed so when Aguero say Kazakhstan player the youngest player to score in Champions League games. They all believe that next 2 years, even if you lose someone, you get a players are they can all omit the numbers. If Chelsea you drew a beer omit now I think say Utie Rahman as more catching was say Jackson may move here to especially to Newcastle. It will even depend on what will happen to Isak first. Jackson will never move to Newcastle if Alexander Isak the Yassel must say we are not going to sell him. If Newcastle Liverpool for someone for 150 number. Now I'll see become I will tell you what will happen. It will depend a lot and a lot of things will happen.
Yeah.
Now the player no Chelsea for the can say they are not forcing the player to move. If they receive the right amount of money, they will do the move. Now player also preference we also do say you bit now there's a reason why United for try to 90 million. And when he come back on several times saying any transfer no release clause in their money o to be player e bedu we be na ya cheche unze go echi if you want the player pay this amount same as Hugo Ekitike in same as Ubi say Benjamin Sesko last season was extending the contract e di shemu say o person be turn free between 80 to 90 and it's not as if say club no air pam no say club no pam na and I'm betima negotiating the fee because when I'm here the silent club I can decide say me share the clause me say I want 90 million now akwan wasa I don't need him anymore. So if one Benjamin Sesko, who detected by me amount. But once me believe it's a player no obe say me more this season. Now so person come and pay the release clause. Then come see any there are reason why I say not be some same question that why is it that any omkokucha placement I explain say apart from age factor no, and then the transfer business any release clause in the money shame no and my deals no air complicated that if you're not going to pay you won't get the player out pay. Now, away from Nicolas Jackson, listen to Money Man can say adaptation. Cavalier is not playing for Yohane Wissa or any other player. Newcastle Pens here. If you come, you have to adapt to whatever the coach wants to play. Real Sociedad, when Isak was leaving Real Sociedad, no Urban, he had a talent. He was raw, but no need that poach and hold. And Newcastle 2 years no evolving now to in-game seriousness. Only by Mr. Debbie Kase. The reason why always be Jackson upon squandering chances upon chances. Obama Chelsea no.
Because
any discipline, especially pressing to in-game seriousness. I don't think about. So Oka saw the red card against Newcastle. Red card. Obion was there. It was frustration. Some player with the red card. And against Flamingo, then so Udimze was a bad tackle. I was looking into Nicolas Jackson yellow card awarding Chelsea. Listo. All the yellow card awarding and listo. 80% of them are true pressing. Say your coco pressing and then I late. No, I a bad foul. And the other 20% in say be Levi Cole Palmer na Chelsea player be no be con. No how hey
Nicolas Jackson by Chelsea. The first 5 games of boy. After the first 5 games of course suspension.
I'm not a yellow card. Only 5 yellow cards are cause suspension. Let me talk about so what is the in-game seriousness? I'm not backing, but you see, you made a statement here and I want you to say, I'm not for it.
So man can be born and for Nicolas Jackson.
Vincent, Benedict,
but some okay say who address based on in some American.
Benedict, my own way.
And I'm also
me explain it here.
In-game seriousness.
Oba Chelsea about 5 games. Nini no nya yellow card. Edu baby. And me nya commit me is Pochettino win actual. Pochettino bufu here based on say player no seriousness in games, especially that yellow card.
The disciplinary issue now cannot seriousness because you are not serious. You cannot play football.
What is in-game seriousness?
In-game discipline. Some of the discipline.
The way say ebi akopa mani obi enya ntokwa.
This is Chelsea. About Nicolas Jackson by Chelsea first 5 games are okay. Yes. Against Liverpool or this yellow card was against Poco Pressy, late against West Ham yellow card. The third goal against Luton. Against Wembley, that is the EFL. Against a friend Nottingham Forest, no yellow card. Then against Bournemouth or yellow card. Against Crystal Palace or yellow card. Apart from no, and I made sure say none of this yellow card are okay. 5 yellow cards, you open the app, you look at 5 yellow cards. So is that in-game seriousness?
And I may be saying yellow cards in Wabono.
Oh, I'm asking a question. Is that in-game?
Maybe the emphasis when they say, "Oh, can't say yellow cards." I'm saying 5 yellow cards in Wabono.
And I'm say,
who say 5 yellow cards?
Yes, or 5 yellow cards. What is the in-game seriousness?
Debate. So, me na person be ati say 5 yellow cards na me che ono. Ebamu.
And I even mentioned say the yellow card award
Nicolas Jackson back.
Oh, by red card award on Chelsea. A2. The last one against Newcastle and the Echo FIFA Club World Cup. See, we are making as if that's Obaino. We are just 20 yellow cards and we are in the circumstance surrounding the red cards. Oh dear. Now moving away from that, Listo, I think sir Benjamin Sesko choose Manchester United. And what should no exercise be about Benjamin Sesko. Me catch you say the moment Manchester United make it offer. No man here then ACB so. I told you say Lucas the year we didn't hear anything from Benjamin Sesko camp. Now player no akwa clear say right now we a player. Na Newcastle ni United epewa. United a big club, arguably the best club in England. So every player growing up Efegimo time, Van Persie, Ruud van Nistelrooy, Wayne Rooney, everybody they would like say they will play for one of the best clubs in Europe. And this is not the first time United are boy home. Also Arsenal be United. Yes. This is the 4th time from NK Domzil, Salzburg, Leipzig home and then Neoma Sanso home. Chelsea win now but he opted so because Salzburg. Now I call IB Leipzig because the agent and the management didn't believe that you're wrong. Just like Erling Haaland. Airbus Washington go or Salzburg, Team Zeppen or Borussia Dortmund and send all decide say Obeba Manchester City. Another club that he also believes that or make me about the projection. Now, Sesko choose Manchester United and Newcastle for no. There's been a lot of players snowball, especially this season. Mababe explaining they don't have a sporting director, they don't have a current CEO currently. So year negotiation and manana bread and me who said Newcastle ni United be bed one. I knew say definitely when it will come to the player, the preference, especially the last time I explained, the really close contract Branton signed last year I believe say 80 to 90 million. If an elite club, according to the definition of this boy, so right now, say ube 90 no ube 80 in that region, this boy will decide where he wants to go. Okay. He said, no one who say United make it bid. No, me just say so. And the man engineering the move is the same person who brought this player from Slovenia to Salzburg. On an sporting director for Salzburg, he came to RB Leipzig. Same person engineered the move to RB Leipzig, and now he's at United. Same person engineering the move from RB Leipzig to Manchester United in the name of Abraham Opinion and the Christian Vivel. So I knew that he was going to come to United. And Coco Newcastle, there will be other, benefits for him because Eddie Howe, listen, since Oba Liverpool, say Opiobioma Isaka, Eddie Howe, you have to. I was talking about because when Isak was coming to Newcastle, he wasn't scoring 10 goals. He wasn't scoring 9 goals in 3 games in the La Liga. When Joelinton mobile obe than strike obe floppy, Bruno Gomares mo, you will be improve on players. So in Coco Newcastle, and could be to reach that pick baby and Isak Druno. But then, obe sounds like name be brave. Looking at United, they did same investment. You know, obi to say Rasmus Højlund in the same region of Salman 73 plus 1 money. But Højlund by list, you see, anytime I say football and you pick seasons, obi to say Jackson last season say, or starting season very well. Yeah. Chelsea fans were having hope say, oh, Obesha 14 goals in the first season. Then this season, I said, acquired Obama more goals. Over baby in 15 games, or 9 games. Yeah. 15 games, or 9 games. 9 goals, sorry. 15 games, or 9 goals. And so Owabe pra any nemanema and Owabe more almost 8 games without a goal. So Rasmus Højlund by over Kaiser Champions League matches be your boy. Or share goals in the first season. People believe that you're striker. But the last season, who called Joshua Zexi goals, now embrace 7 goals. So this boy is coming. In the first 5 games, 10 games, it can go so well. But when Obe Richie a moment he goes in Embano, and that is where we a player now a top club like United. That is when the pressure number. That is where you will need your mentality. Højlund, Obe United who saw potential. Oba United sign the Champions League goes. Oh, I feel United for be a one abaso. But when goes in starts Emba or says a chances, no. And United, you have to deliver. Now this boy, listen, he has all the assets in terms of one personal talent as a player. Or your raw, how or the goals. But then apart from one personal assets, he also has other player assets. And non best Bruno Fernandes player be no creative chances saying Premier League. So if you are coming to play with Bruno Fernandes in through balls and how on so but running in behind a 1 year. You also have 2 additional players Uber Premier League now top 15 players more creative chances they are all United set up currently. So there will be a lot of pressure. So if you choose United and Unim say Oba now to be about 15 goals it might not be enough for United fans, but they believe that Uso 22 years and then I'm sure say no any player in Europe below the age of 22 years or 23 watch more goals saying Abraham and Benjamin Sesko. So the potential and then the high ceiling, whatever you may call it, but he's coming to a big club and club now urban. The space, the vicinity, the stadium, the fans, and the club itself, and more that chance because who call Leipzig first season she 14 goals, last season she 30 goals. United over now she 13 goals. I say Mbwemomu she other ones they do not kill, but the moment your best starts or best yes chances pressure be also, and that is what this boy if he's coming to United also really what you see United is a big club now and Coco Newcastle being a Champions League abo. He's been playing Champions League football from Salzburg to RB Leipzig for the past 3 seasons. Over United, I'm about Champions League football. So if you don't deliver, Bruno Mao chance too. You catch us the last season. Bruno created 91 chances. Emu 10 per and a teammate 18 this year go. They say create chances Mao. Now the moment I start chances. Pressure will mount on you. Now Newcastle there no. You see, I'm not for Adrian was there. There is one they needed Hugo Ekitike no. And yes, no person on Isak there. He's not even close to selling. They know say 150 no club will come and pay. And if you be trust 150 no club and Kopombe won say be man akwa na him anko. Omo lusu Kalum Wilson free to West Ham. They need somebody right now. Isak Opla one ekwa strike amom. They do not have anybody. So Isak no call back on. Asan kwakwa bibi oho. Now he's back to Newcastle training. Eddie Howe say he has to earn the right to play with the players because the kind of disrespect or the more Asia no, they believe that money be red team currently If you're a manager, then you then take care. You lose the dressing room, and he's not ready to do that. Now, if you look at Isaac conditioner, if I'm Nicholas Jackson, now say Isaac Bettner, over 3 years on the contract, so the highest paid player, and they want to even improve him. The club and the president and our chairman, the favorite player. So you're looking at all these instances. Now, are you going to be a second fiddle? You're going to go to top, and now even Isaac Tanana or Papa is natural. No, you're ready. How is the situation going to be like? So you want to waste any other players? They know say if Oko Newcastle, you're going to get the money, you're going to play Champions League football. But then say Chelsea and who believe so better fighting for position. You wouldn't move to Newcastle, knowing say who compare strikers no more Chelsea. Any striker or Newcastle now. Why now should be bench you more? So this instances surrounding this transfers in there, it will go a long way. It will depend on who is moving, who is coming, and the amount of money. Because Chelsea shared Jackson age at 24 years, they bought him 30 million. There is no way they will sell him less than 60 million. And looking at the prices, amount for Tom Hugo Ekitike, any even Joao Pedro free Brighton buy for 60 million, and current price are in the Benjamin Sesko back into the Premier League, and the cast will be a player or you proving and was also potential. Every year, I saw him in as near year come about. In the first season, one more double figures. Always been no more double figures. But the double figures, it drew baby now. I think no or reaching the 20s. And they always say, Yakase Jackson, I'm out for a seminar. Check it Chelsea team for the past 2 seasons. Even we first season, now we Kopama penalty goals on Shane Flower. No player scored non penalty goals than him. But at the end of the day, the expected goals or say be brave. And it's something that they believe that they can improve and answer. So I think say Man U for them, they've got a player. Medican say acquiring the potential. He has the potential, but then the kind of pressure over Leipzig wouldn't be the same as team it say Man United. In fact, check United at least since 2016. Almost Shedan signed player be a man about player radio apart from Bruno Fernandes. Player Ben Pan Abaka Sebia or buy United for signing or buy Ababefa. The amount of pressure you can have bad things, but they believe that for you to be able to play for United, you have to be an elite player. An elite player, and you have to be with potential. Oba, they believe that with potential. First season, they will react on your second season. Till Rashmus buy or more huge potentials. And an Yamako, you know, you're fine judging the second season, and then say pressure now Ababi Buagon so cry. He scored just 4 goals or 3 goals. I stand to be corrected in the Premier League. And United for people are shocked how at least they are making some of these signings. Almost shut down to play but then list who check United so cost cutting now Sir Jim Ratcliffe by list a boy moye papa. And it's the same way United for it raising this amount of money. Now, am I a cost cutting? And they Omunyan Tom Rashford, but my in free books in him, which is 40 million per year. That 40 million per year list. This boy, if they are buying him, United are not paying the amount outright. Now, no catch the amount of money if Brian Mbeumo deal no, 5 years no, Omunchia and Kosoro Embro 7 million per year. So if you have 40 million, it means that while amortize any of the players in the dealer. In fact, Kunga de Nepono and falling under their books for this season. Ebe falling almost signed boy before July 30th. So ebe falling under the 2024-2025 calendar book. But Mbeumo ebe falling under this year calendar book, and Benjamin Sesko amortization. They have a lot of players, and they already from Chelsea or in 5 million from the penalty at Chelsea for Abranton the other Jadon Sancho. Almost transfer from Carreras, player Okoko joining Madrid. No, they've had money from that deal, and they obey to say player Oko Newcastle from Nottingham Forest, Anthony Ilanga. Almost also in the scale for Ilanga. Then again, almost also in the scale from Max Oyedale. From I think of one of the teams Aqua Strasbourg or Sebibisa, Omonia from all these deals, and they are also hoping that Ligia was on about Strasbourg. They are also hoping that they can get money from Garnacho, they can get money from Sancho, they can get money from Anthony, they can get money from Tyro Malaysia, and all these players back. They'll make me their balancing books. So for the money they can buy, to me, and they Sekavaris bet in the picture beato so Omode. They share Rasmus Holland the chia, and they on say preseason coach Ibeka said they are hoping say if player bia ubebo humodi ambo humodi bia ube show actual and the United for listo omania bre papa Ruben Amorim. He's one coach I believe in him. And they omu yusu start sports. A lot of teams need yusu but obedient omu yusu start sports Apex 2.0. And the reason why catch when they sideway listo they look at United for injuries omunya since 2023. United we Chelsea, Liverpool, they may be Bournemouth. United are one of the teams that 34 injuries. And players MSA almost 1,000 minutes through injury. And sadly, you know, say coach, the more you training now, yeah. Wow, run here, no, be say, could be me no run here. Hey, massa, run here. Open footage and we actual. Then say, Obi run no, yeah, red zone. When I say bit my man hamstring up pull ya. Then they will start. They will tell the players actually, nachi, now to was kakra. So looking at Nyama opinion or the data about the performance aspect, and it's won't to me. Your bet was a master. You are not training in the match day squad. Maybe holding your day. It is one of the main options I think so by United or they drop Rashford from air the deal. So I think say they are doing everything possible to. But I do also mean say more outgoings no. They should look sharp no more. Kenan Dewsbury Hall finally Everton for announcing no. And I think say it's one of the good. I think say Newcastle and Chelsea for them. They are signing a lot of players, but one thing I'm for arguing, say they are outgoings. They are doing very well. And they Ugochukwu, Amando Broya, and in the space of 1 week, they've been able to salvage this and other deals. So a bit team so they are back. And virus on fact, is it Lami Yama? Graffiti into so mami. Oko unya 18 years no. And as I'm a Barcelona fans nibi. Ni area and I say oh yeah Spain or this me this drawing fair drawing the etoho. And you see the last time you need to know about the social media no? Say if you are player now always go out there the reason why even some players even if I'm gonna come at Thompson because they don't want their private life to be on social media because fans need how much different or you club who's way because a chance but kuna no would in tia. And there's a reason why Obi to say former Kotoko captain the offering media by now the
Richard Board and Justice
Blake. Because the players Dimitri Shisha players in Minum San. A lot of people were saying say I do a point here some of the players. And in another day Kamara share space will be say by now, Shisha and the creating no share space. So there will be a lot of things players need be one. But then this was the initial painting. But and now I'm drafts now. In the 18th birthday, or do more than now. I'm going to draw draft 8 drafts. And they are in the picture now. And it is something that now you to know for. We you be a mentally or strong no who's name and name we are. It is something that a bit more point and so it should be an advice to some of the players. With social media and the private life, we have people they can condone that pressure. Obi to say Balotelli, then a man can't find. But Oba, when he has the opportunity, Obi deliver. A lot of players doesn't care about whatever you talk about him online, whatever abuse. But Oja pitch in the swamp, Obebo, Nima then a man find But Onya game na, Obecho so Lami Yamal, a lot of things like this will come. It might not be from Barcelona fans, it might be from rival fans, but then. So I'm not near the ama board meaning bo. Then I'll do whatever I want to do. On focus on online and inside social media. He will still be a very good top player for Barcelona and whatever level and limiter Barca projects no a person reach no he can reach there.
Okay, mama sure I got 10 minutes. Mama fan sure also now. Yeah, sure I'm boss on sorry.
Okay, and me all time we a match for 4 odds on MYBET.AFRICA.
Indra then.
Indra.
So my odds.
Yes. Indra my odds. We penny and Gary Bar. Me call 1.5 and a straight win and almost say no. But they can now boy. We Copenhagen me call win or draw and under 2.5. And code in Salzburg any Club Brugge game on Bebo Club Brugge win or draw 1.5. Nice any Benfica win or draw 1.5 and a Lugo date last game of Nonso Bebo Nonso 1.5 code no 8D GY 8D GY MYBET.AFRICA.
Okay. Okay, me so me dey no. All the 6 matches now mo bɔ no Kairat Almaty and Slovan Bratislava. Second half most goals. Salzburg ne Club Brugge. Second half most goals. Ludogorets ne Ferencvaros. Second half most goals. Lech Poznan and Grevna Zvezda. Second half most goals. And Feyenoord and Fenerbahce. Second half most goals. And Nice and Benfica. Second half most goals. Yes, kaketwa kra was a arrangement we yes kaketwa. Timamenshwe also no do na memfa mamuntino. Yeah, so why ready? I'll wait me do then.
Yeah. Yes, maybe an Feyenoord and Fenerbahce no make belt builder options. Double chance for Fenerbahce and over 1.5 goals in that game. Chelsea player ya na meka no hansem the young Sergio Aguero no the team Kairat Almaty and Slovan Bratislava bebo over 1.5 goals in that game. Salzburg and Club Brugge game no over 2.5 goals in that game. Sanso and Ludogorets and Ferencvaros game no over 1.5 goals in that game. Nina Champions League games code no JFGY JFGY.
Okay, me pese me hwe na me hwe Arsenal just 3 matches kwa amame. 3 matches nkwa amame 9.7 odds. Nti nya asem ketu akra nti ade a o de kakra guso a ebeye we endra ayi na say me bet ba eno so me ye force a we na say no Copenhagen obo 0-0 throughout be a first half by we na me say ade na be fa afi this is 4 matches na ye 20 nti ma menhwe the 5th match 20 odds ya de an say second half no goals do na be dey ebeba second half instead of first half eba ne sa e bia ewu. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 okay 5 matches until 42 odds. Nice ne Benfica second half most goals. Ludogorets ne Ferencvaros second half most goals. And Salzburg ne Club Brugge second half most goals. Lech Poznan ne Grevna Zvezda second half most goals. And Feyenoord so ne Fenerbahce second half most goals. Yes, it yeah the all no. Ghana ne Mali ne Chad. There's a Chad bebo home. Ti Ghana beko Chad and then yoma kobo no ma Mali. I want say Accra Sports Stadium and I be host sa match na. Yen hwa ka 6 minutes yen hwe ne kakra. That's the World Cup eba. Next month yeah. So what to be the preparation here there. Yeah.
Yes, I think share with game need I think we share Black Stars I be omonam there kwan bia so no World Cup no ombetimi rem etimi akọ. Now with Accra Sports Stadium you who in recent times a pitch no edaso bibia akoye. So I think we share preparation in bibia is on plan. Yeah, share say players and so performance from the start of
this. Say say movement of players na yeah.
Okay.
And have a effect on a year we because you know more movie new environment
and I mean because we players the performance especially in their club sides no be at the back we play a big factor or a friend is saying Ghana qualification we players beat Mohamed Kudus moving to Tottenham from West Ham in the Premier League now now he has moved to a club it's more of like they say no club not tasty trophy so they will be pushing their players to put in more effort and they remember the Super Cup final that is on the 13th. Now there would be one trophy available. I think he will be one player performance wise. Tottenham it will be top notch. Okay, team now they are missing that hold of the ball, that way aggressive dribbler. Obey me the ball na koni him no team the goals account. So I think we had the performance. In their friendly so my boy shows glimpses of the obey me there and so in players need to meet twice from this August to September before that qualifies now they can put in a good performance. Kamal Dean so about 2 unofficial games nini na no team share goals HSM Oshe Atlanta team now also finding a ground to which is very good for the Black Stars in Nyama Ekoye. So with the moves now players now I think 1 or 2 players in Nyama Ekoye or Club is it's a good positive remarks a bit me about Aboa Black Stars, especially with the qualification games a bebo was September.
Okay.
Yeah, Listo. I think, sir, if you look at Ghana, your group now, we are highly as a check here, yeah, say, yeah, na say, you be qualified. That is if you not even a point because you be against a obiti say Chad and Mali be the decider game you be Ghana has then we will also play against Chad. Now in September, Listo.
Yeah.
I think say with our players, the only important figure maybe we might mix that we team in mono might be a year obiti say Thomas Tepati because of the trial in the man because he was born in September and so he might be the only person. But then if you even look at your table currently, 15 points, Comoros 12, Madagascar 10, Mali 9, Chad the whipping boys in the group.
The second place team near Hona.
Yeah, Comoros 12.
And
Ghana were 15.
Okay.
Now I want to look to Comoros games on the ball. You see, Comoros Listo, they will play Mali at home. Mali were 9 points. If Mali share Comoros, I'll be 12. And we will have the background of the team Ghana and say Atadri Warrior at Muden. Now, with that game on the bono, if you look at how our name so elqua, looking at situation, any there will be a second place team. The best second place teams. As a boy when we are a bit me so either Comoros or Mali, they will also try as much as possible so with Madagascar or no Super Bowl Central African Republic no about Chad. So looking at this game, Listo, Ghana say even if I got that 2 games I ever won, Comoros 2 games on the Super Bowl against a year Mali and Central African Republic. If you are able to even take a draw with even Mali, you got 16. Now at that 16, Comoros will be winning the last game on the Super Bowl 15. Yeah, last game no. Yet me a board draw, it means that you got 17 or no Comoros no or board draw you got. So it means that yes, I 2 games now can. We have to make sure that we will pick at least 3 points out of a games because you pick 3 points at least you go 18. Comoros are no share aseno. Or no be share a year or share 2 games now can in na. Or no and so ever be 18. Which means if any team ever finish on pointer, it means score difference no will be the tiebreaker. Now Ghana share 15 goals and you consider 5 goals. Comoros or share 1 home. All right, but the thing is, looking at how our name Comoros is the best answer in the as I have that is the return leg. So with September games everybody there, crucial. It is very good for us, and I think say they may a bit in the aqua. But then looking at the players, I'm making move. Kamadin Sulemana, Equa Atlanta, and I think say Osha reporter, Nigerian international Ademola Lukman Debai. I clear say Ademola is not going to be with Atlanta with how crowd yeah, but even though Atlanta the relationship is broken and I had that brand to the bet now. So Kamadin Sulemana the replacement for him, and Atlanta the coach and he's familiar with the coach, send him money mankind. The games are so far but he's been scoring goals, so I'm familiar with it. We also have another Ghanaian there, another Sulemana, a midfielder also. Yeah, but also injuries in last season, but then when I recover he scored 2 spectacular goals. I bought Atlanta for SMNT in the Champions League position league so last season, and the new coach Aban so fond of him always be also a bono a man also team started. So looking at the players, Abu Francis from Cercle Brugge to Toulouse, I mean Waba one of the top European leagues are also Babesi kind. We also have Christopher Babosu or show a glimpse in pay any forwarder obey me about as number 10 wait about from the pace now. We can also rely on him. We also have Jerry Freya. He believes that he also for the future. The last game your boy or he will go or share more toward the sea park. So he also there. These 2 players so I think say Mohamed Kudus and no say he has an opportunity to grab a Tottenham Hotspur to be the poster boy for Tottenham team. No, so no there. A lot of Thomas Partey, for instance, Villarreal, he's familiar with the Spanish league, you know. Obetimi abuy and who near me in so bar any good day. Obetimi Edia, but I think say he plays. No, we also have another good news in Abranta the day a year. Abdul Fattah Isahaku, that solo goal or share for Leicester, it was trending, and I think say all Sanso Bano, Ebema Yenya more squad depth, captain Jordan Ayew at Leicester City, or more call back to a championship. Also, issue with the absence of Jamie Vardy, he's going to be an integral part of for them, and also leadership role BB Antoine Semenyo at Bournemouth. Performance or that I did last season. We are hoping say obetimi replicating that say the main in. So to me, I think say we are just hoping say moves are all the players now. And I'm expecting say Kamadin, Mohamed Kudus, any Abu Francis. We are hoping say these players can just perform very well, and on performing our mobile national team, they should replicate the same thing, and we are good to go.
Okay, all right. Well, Charlie, the news I heard say nyasem kito top government officials Dr. Omane Boamah, the defense minister, environmental minister, environment minister Murtala Mohammed, Samuel Sapon, Samuel Abuaje, and 3 Air Force persons. The Freba could be so Muniru. Omunina a crash the Air Force plane. Samuel Abuaje is a NADMO, a deputy general, director general. Na I say no more kwako. Omo lanche a responsible cooperative mining and skills development program. Ewo boase. And I say akrofrom. Omakunya crash no na President Mahama. Ede a year an official and the details of the people now more a year on board, you know. Sad news. Yami adum na adum dimi o chana be say share ya crown.